What's good, guys? It's your girl Faith, and welcome back to Faith Facts. To close out this amazing Black History Month, I'm doing a re-upload from about a year ago where I did a review of the life and works of the amazing Katherine G Johnson. She is one of my biggest inspirations, and you guys should definitely know who she is and say her name throughout the year. So here is Katherine G Johnson. Oh, remember, this was from a year ago, so my audio quality was not that great. Now, let's get into it. Hey guys, so it's your girl Faith, and today we are going to be doing the last installment of my series for Black History Month. Black History is our history, and today we're finishing strong with a legendary woman that goes by the name Katherine Johnson. So, as we know, Katherine Johnson, who's born Katherine Coleman, or also known as Katherine Goebel, was born on August 26, 1918 in White Surplice Springs, West Virginia. And she is an American mathematician who calculated and analyzed the flight paths of many spacecrafts during her more than 3 decades with the U.S. space program, otherwise known as NASA. And her work helped to send the first American man into space and the first astronauts to the moon. So her intelligence and skills with numbers became apparent when she was a child, and by that time she was 10 years old and had started attending high school. And in 1937, at 18, Coleman graduated with highest honors from West Virginia State College, which is now West Virginia State University, earning her bachelor's degree in mathematics and French. And she was one of the 3 Black students chosen to be integrated quietly into the university. And this was a huge step at this time, as integration was not known during the 30s. And she subsequently moved to Virginia to take a teaching job. However, in 1939, she was selected to be one of the first African American students to enroll in the graduate program, as I said before, where she studied math and soon married James Goebel and decided to start a family. However, he sadly passed away in 1956, and 3 years later, she married James Johnson. In 1953, she began working at the National Advisory Committee for Aeronautics and the West Wing Computing Union as a group of African American women who manually performed complex mathematical calculations for the program's engineers. With no calculators, no help, they were the calculators. And during this time, the NACA was segregated, and the West computers had to use separate bathrooms and dining facilities all the way across campus from their white counterparts. And this changed in 1958 when the NCAA was incorporated into the newly founded National Aeronautics and Space Administration, as we all know today as NASA, and they banned segregation. At NASA, Johnson was a member of the Space Task Group, and in 1960, she co-authored a paper with one of the group engineers adding calculations for placing a spacecraft into orbit. It was the first time a woman in her division received credit as an author of a research report, and Johnson authorized and co-authored 26 research papers during her career. Johnson also played an important role in NASA's Mercury program of manned space flights. In 1961, she calculated the path for Freedom 7, the spacecraft that put the first U.S. astronaut into space. The following year, at the request of John Glenn, Johnson verified that the electronic computer had planned his flight correctly. Glenn subsequently made history aboard Friendship 7, becoming the first U.S. astronaut to orbit Earth. Johnson was also part of a team that calculated where and when to launch the rocket for the Apollo 11 mission of 1969, which sent the first 3 men to the moon. Johnson later worked on the Space Shuttle program. She retired from NASA in 1986. Johnson received numerous awards and honors for her work, including the Presidential Medal of Freedom, and in 2016, NASA named a building, the Katherine G Johnson Computational Research Facility, after her. And that year, Margaret Lee Shirtley published Hidden Figures, The American Dream and the Untold Story of Black Women Mathematicians Who Helped Win the Space Race, about West computers, including Johnson, Dorothy Vaughan, and Mary Jackson. And a film based on the book was also released in 2016, starring actress Taraji P. Henson as Johnson. And sadly, on February 24, 2020, Katherine Johnson passed away at the age of 101. And NASA Administrator Jen Bernstein announced her death and promised that her legacy would be remembered. And as I quote Bernstein, "At NASA, we will never forget her courage and leadership and the milestones we could not have reached without her, and we will continue to build on her legacy." I chose to do the last installment of this series on her, well, not only because she recently passed away this Monday, but after seeing Hidden Figures and finding out about all this work that she and the other women in her group have done, and how they went almost unrecognized until 2016, it really inspires me to keep going and keep pursuing my dreams, and maybe one day it'll take me to the moon. And I would like to close today on a quote from Katherine Johnson. And it says, "Like what you do, and then you will do your best." So thank you guys for listening, and remember, even throughout the whole year, 366 days, Black history is our history.